Hello, Mary Mead. So I want to review a book. But before I get to the book, let me just say that my cat is a little bit drugged because she's been to the vet. So she might be meowing now and then. And I might have to pay a bit of attention to her so she doesn't climb on anything where she can fall down and such. There's nothing wrong with her. She has just been having her claws tended to. But she tends to be very little happy about having her claws cut. So you have to have the vet do it, and she's not happy. So yes, so if you hear some mowing, it's that. Now, let's get to the book. It is Healing with Crystals by Simon Lilly. So, yeah, the first thing is this is a very tiny book. It will not take you long to read it, couple of hours. So, I'm not sure what this originally cost. I got it secondhand, dirt cheap. It doesn't say any where what it originally cost. But it was printed in 2003, so usually we'll only find these secondhand anyway right now. So don't pay a lot of it because there's not a lot of unique information here. But the book is actually surprisingly nice. The thing is, this is exactly the way I want a beginner book to be. Because it discusses the topic of crystal healing. It goes into those topics that you need to know. The basic crystals, it doesn't go into a lot of these very, very, very unusually and expensive crystals. And so it goes through the most basic crystals. It discusses what you can do with them, how to cleanse them, and all of these things. It gives you all the information you need to pick up some crystals and use them. So, for example, let's say I want to give a gift to somebody who has been talking about starting with crystal healing, and they just want a place to start. I would probably just pick up a nice little bag and fill it with around 10 different stones, basically one for each chakra, a couple of clear quartz, and a couple of clear quartz points, and hematite. Then you have a very nice beginner kit. It shouldn't be that expensive. If you could get a copy of this book, package it with, they have everything they need. So I'm actually very positively surprised for this smaller book. And basically, here's the contents. You have an introduction, which we know what that is. We have how a crystal is born, crystal variations. These two here basically discusses the geology. It's what's a crystal. Then you have the chakra system, which discusses exactly that. It's basically goes straight over that. Very simple. Crystal colors, which discusses a bit about how colors can be an important part about what the crystals are doing. And choosing and cleansing crystals, which is a completely okay chapter about doing exactly that, which gives you the most basic methods and doing that. Your techniques, know your stones, which is basically how to intuitively connect with them. And then you have meditating with crystals. Actually, there are a lot of exercises in this book, and a lot of them are okay. Some of them are a little bit confusingly written up. Hey, baby. Yeah, I'm here, baby. Yeah, I am. Yeah. And then you have handheld crystal healing, which basically discusses a very simple technique using a crystal point for healing. It's simple, but it's actually something I haven't tried that method yet, but I think it would be quite effective. It's both you can both use this on yourself and on others. Grounding and centering, which everybody has done anything even remotely occult, new age, or anything along the lines, know exactly what that is. And then you have pendulum healing, which discusses both using the pendulum for divination. Not a lot on that. It's basically focused on how to use a crystal pendulum for healing work. These are very simple again, but interesting technique. It's basically you have your patient lie down, and then you go over, basically you ask it to be in a searching position or a neutral position, and then you slowly go down their body and have the intention that when it encounters an imbalance, that it can clear out, it should stop and change directions. Then you just let the pendulum swing and work on that imbalance until it goes back to neutral. The only thing I don't like in that chapter is that it again tries to enforce that, no, this is the neutral position, this is the so-and-so position. No, it isn't. Here's the thing. Some positions and movements of the pendulum are more common among some dowsers than others, but it's very intuitive. So basically just ignore that and see for yourself how your crystal likes to move. It's a good method. Then you have balance in the chakras, which is a simple method, but it works. And then it goes through the chakras here: crown chakra, brow chakra, throat chakra, heart chakra, solar plexus chakra, sacral chakra, base chakra. It starts on the top for some reason, but anyway, it goes through quickly about each of these chakras is and what crystals are good with them. Then you have crystal treatments, which basically discusses some about that and have some simple examples. And then it basically goes with some recipes that you can use and layouts basically on the physical body, and most of these layouts uses only a few stones each for common ailments. You have relieving pain, soothing headaches, easing PMS and menstrual cramps, energizing crystals, aiding concentration, releasing stress, calming crystals, aiding restful sleep, crystal essences. Basically, now we are to how to make those. But anyway, for those recipes, I think this is a really good addition to this book, because it basically shows you some practical things to do with these crystals instead of using, okay, I have all these crystals, what do you do with them? But they say, okay, you place a rock quartz there and an amethyst there and so on and so forth. And that is good for so-and-so ailment. And then you will also be motivated to find new layouts for other problems. But that's what I like about this book. It's practical. It's aimed towards getting you from knowing nothing about crystal healing whatsoever into actually using crystals practically in your life. Then we have crystal essences, which goes through how to make a crystal essence. And it's pretty good. And then you have enhancing your home, which is basically put crystals in your home. Yeah, it's basically just that. Crystals in the workplace, which gives some ideas about how to put crystals around your workplace and enhance that. And then you have a crystal color directory, which goes through what colors the crystals have and what do these colors do. And an index. I mean, it's definitely not a must-have. There's more detailed crystal books out there. There's crystal books with a lot more information. It's definitely not the best book out there. However, when I started doing crystal healing, it was this kind of book I really wanted, because the ones I had, there was just a sea of information and so many different stones, and a lot of them were really, really expensive, and it was less, instead of just focusing on a handful of stones and basically some really practical exercises to get you going. Because when you master the information in that book, then you're ready to just move on to another one. So yeah, I mean, it's too short that I can recommend paying enormous amount of money for this. You can find it used and cheap. I would say give it a go. It's a lot of good information in here. It's a nice little read. You can do worse than spend a couple of hours reading this book. And especially if you haven't worked with crystals before, this is a great way to start. If I'm going to nitpick anything, it's that the chapters on putting crystals in your home and the crystals in your workplace sort of are a little bit empty, and that's basically put crystals on shit. It will enhance your life. Yeah, I figured that out from the rest of the book, thank you. And also, at least once, they have repeated images. But that's just a little bit of nitpicking. all in all, this is a really, really good book. And yeah, who was it that made this? Doesn't say. Who are the publisher? It is a Hermes house. There are their logo. So, yes. And that is my review of Healing with Crystals. There's a lot of books calling that. So this is for, of course, the one by Simon Lilly. So it's Healing with Crystals by Simon Lilly. And yeah, I enjoyed this one. It's a good beginner book. And I mean, those little exercises and stuff, even if I've been working with crystals for years, I might use some of those. So yeah, I feel I got my money's worth. And yeah, that's what I had to say about it. So have a great day and blessed be.